Well, what entity trumps the Social Security Act of 1936? Who or what? I do. There's no doubt about it. I'm a man. I trump everything. Anything written on paper. Because the fact paper can't stand in court. Only I can stand in court. A man's got to support that Social Security Act of 1936, and nobody's going to support that. Nobody's going to back it up. Who's going to stay and testify that anything is Social Security Act? So here you go. Attention, Karl Lentz. Who wrote the Social Security Act of 1936? Dude, I don't have an effing clue. And I don't care. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of people that wrote it. I don't care. What entity can order any man to pay child support? A woman. A woman could say, hey, I order that man to pay child support, and he better pay it. Well, I want the community to get together, go to his house, and grab $100 a month worth of stuff and bring it back to me and my kid, because he's liable. Yeah, so what entity can order any man to pay child support? Any woman. I guarantee it, every jury, I'll back her up. So you better believe, buddy, you better round up $100 worth of nonsense, or we're going to send a posse down your house, and we're going to spend $100, and we're going to help support that kid, because you ain't burning us. Society would take care of that wife and kid. You better believe, buddy, we're going to make sure that society is compensated for your ridiculous acts. So there you go. What entity can order any man to pay child support? A woman can. So he didn't have to wait for the order to come down from the wife. He volunteered. He said, look, I understand society took care of my kid. Guess what? I'll help society back. But the best I do is $30. I hope society is happy with that, because I want to be a productive member of society. I want to be a good model citizen. I want my kids to be proud of me. I don't want to see my kids see me in jail for 5 years. I want my kids to think I'm an upright guy. And I want everybody in this courtroom to think I'm an honest man. And that's exactly what he said in his honor. I think he said everybody so impressed with him was scary. Nobody was making fun of him like they were the first time he went into court. That they were making believe he had a crown on his head. He said, here, come here, Sovereign King. Come here, Your Majesty. Come here, we need you to sign something, Your Highness. He said, oh man, he said, that nonsense, stop. If you don't believe me, go listen to the call back in August. He says, Karl needs to start at the beginning. Who wrote the child support laws? Me? I have no effing clue. I couldn't care less. Child support laws for child support law. No, I have an effing clue. Everybody knows the child support laws don't have to be written. The uncommon law is unwritten law. Everybody knows you have to pay support your kid. You don't have to read or write English. You can speak Martian. You can speak, I don't care what language you speak, intergalactical, universally concept is known. If you produce something, you create something, you're liable for that baby. Whether it's Frankenstein or a 10,000-pound megaton bomb, you're liable. You created that thing, you caused damage to that, we're going to hold you liable. Everybody knows that. So who wrote the child support laws? That's ridiculous. Common laws are not written. Everybody just knows from being alive and being competent and coherent who has to pay what, who has to do what, who opens the door for who sits down, who stands up when a woman walks in the room. It's common law. We all know how to respect each other. We don't need it written down, dude. I don't need a game plan how to support my kid. I don't need the government to come in and say, this is how you support your kid, Karl. So let's keep going with this thing. It says all laws, codes, rules, regulations, and ordinances are written by some entity. And they said fill in the blank for the name of the entity. Really? I couldn't care less. They're not my rules. They're not my codes. If it's written down, where does it bind me? It doesn't bind me. All entities that write laws, codes, rules, regulations are required to have a license to operate within the state. Really? I couldn't care less if they have a license. What does it have to do with me? Who made up these rules? Who made up the code? Who said that they have to have a license? It has nothing. It doesn't bind me. I couldn't care less. This is a common law land, and everybody who reads any definition of common law, it says unwritten law. Common law is unwritten law. So you just run through a piece of paper to tell you how to behave? Bad man, you're a real sorry ass man. If you need a piece of paper to give you a roadmap how you should treat women and children and child support, you really sad. The only entity that can lawfully issue the licenses in any state is the Secretary of State's office. So really, how do I know and how do I care? I didn't set up their rules of government. I'm self-governing. I set up my rules, and I'll tell you who can and tell me what cannot do. So who cares about the Secretary of State nonsense? They're subordinate to a man. They're my public servants. I don't care what the maids are doing in the kitchen. I don't care what the butler is doing. I don't care what the cooks are doing. As long as the food's on the table at 6 o'clock, I couldn't care less what my public rules servants that they're making amongst themselves in the kitchen. I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less how it gets on the table. I don't care if the maids baste the roast beef. I don't care if the butlers cut up the spinach. I don't care how they make the magic happen. And make this meal appear at 6 o'clock. I don't care what their rules, regulations. I don't care what the license. I don't care. If they got nothing better to do than to make busy work and make licenses amongst themselves, God bless them. I got better things to do. I don't care who's got a license or don't got it. Just make the magic happen and publicly serve me. So Karl Lentz, go back to the beginning. Who wrote the child support laws, codes, regulations, and orders? I couldn't care less. It certainly wasn't me. I got better things to do. It says the truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. Let it loose. It will defend itself. That gibberish. I don't get a clue. Because truth is a legalese word. A man only knows what's true. He doesn't know what truth is. If you knew the difference between the word truth and true, you'd see what I'm saying.